Members of Australia's Jewish community have called for the immediate and unconditional release of 200 hostages kidnapped by Hamas. Let's take you live now to our senior reporter, Carolyn Marcus, who is at the launch of the campaign. Carolyn, obviously we've seen this great outpouring of emotion from the Australian relatives of kidnapped Israelis. Just such a difficult and heartbreaking time for them.
It has been an incredibly emotional start of the day for these relatives here in Australia. The campaign was launched here in Sydney by the Executive Council of Australian Jewry. Now, they're the peak national group representing Jews across the country, and they've gathered some members of the community who have family members there, friends who've been affected by this horrendous atrocity. More than 1,400 Jewish people and foreign citizens were slaughtered in Israel when Hamas militants invaded on October 7. But there were also another 200 Israelis and non-Israelis who were kidnapped from their homes or dance festivals, and many taken, they believe, into Gaza. We've seen some of the evidence that Hamas themselves have released of hostages, including babies and very young children. So these community members have come out in support of those people today, and we heard a heartfelt plea from one woman who had 6 members of her family in Israel taken by Hamas a little bit earlier. Here she is.
To the media and politicians, there should be one question out there to Hamas. When are you going to release our hostages, our families, our children, our sons, our daughters, our grandparents?
Yep, we need to set them free as a world.
Need them set them free as a world. Everybody unite.
Now, the co-chief executive of the Executive Council of Australian Jewry, Alex Ribchin, also condemned the Greens and human rights organisations who have spoken out against the Israeli retaliation and targeting of Hamas. This is what he had to say.
I also want to lament the silence of the so-called human rights community and the Australian Greens. They were silent as 1,400 people were slaughtered in their homes. They are silent as 199 people remain in captivity. Their silence is an affront to human rights, and it places them on the wrong side of history and of humanity.
We've seen posters of some of these hostages go up across the country in recent days, put up by concerned members of the community. Now there is also a website for this Set Them Free campaign. And just to give you a bit of a closer look at some of the people who are rallying here this morning, holding up posters of children, babies, the elderly. One woman, Michal, who we heard from earlier, told me that an elderly woman with Parkinson's had been taken into Gaza without her medication. They're just calling for these people to be released. Ashley?
Carolyn Marcus, thank you.